All right, you guys, we are going to go ahead and get started. As always, I like to really genuinely and truly say thank you for taking time out on a Sunday evening. I haven't been home very much today. I'm assuming there's a football game on right now, and I know there's all kinds of other things that you guys could be doing. So it always does really mean a lot. It shows me a lot that you guys would take the time out to be here tonight, and not going to keep you guys too long, maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes or so. And I know over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking a lot, pretty much exclusively, about the new Team Superbody site, and that was because it was just getting up and running, and we really wanted to share with you guys exactly what it was created for, how you guys could be using it, how it could be part of your marketing strategy and relationship building strategy. So this week we are back to just some good old fashioned team training. And you guys know that I typically take the feedback and the conversations that I'm having in the field and bring it here on Sundays. As you guys know, I've kind of handed the daily power calls out to an amazing team that is full of 6 and 7 figure earners. So I am really leveraging on them to do the daily power calls. They do an incredible job, and I honestly felt like I was in the way of you guys receiving that top notch, literally 6 and 7 figure education and information. So this is really our time to come together as a team to share what's going on in the field and to really shift some mindsets, because the longer you are in this business and as you move up the ranks, you really truly get a different perspective on things. And if you think about it, it's a visual concept, but it really is too, that as you move up the ranks and you move from active associate to director to regional director to national director to presidential director to ambassador to 1 star and all the way up the ranks, it literally does bring you up higher, kind of in the Visalis stratosphere, to have a different perspective and to really see things on a larger scale. So just sometimes I say things like that and you're not quite having a visual. So just think about it. If you walked out into your front yard right now, opened the front door, took a look around, you would have a certain perspective, and really it would be a limited perspective because it would just be what you could see right in front of you. But if you went and took a ladder or climbed out a window and went and stood on the roof of your house, you would have a different perspective. You would see more. You could see over the neighbors' houses, and maybe you could even see into a different neighborhood or see the closest major intersection, whatever it is. Now think about it. If you went up in a plane and you were 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 feet up in the air, your perspective would be totally different. So what I like to do is share the perspective from an ambassador standpoint and then really bring it back home right to your front yard. Because I tell you what, this industry, one of the things that I love about it the most is the growth that is really required to move up the ranks. It is not just about going out there and hustling harder and faster and stronger and all these different things. It really does require some personal growth and personal development. And it also takes understanding that this is a business. And in order to really run an effective and a growing business, you get higher and higher levels of education and training, and you connect with other people that are doing what you're doing and also doing what you want to be doing, and your whole dynamic changes. So I tell you what, being in this industry and in this business for a while, it really does shift some perspective. So I've been having some conversations with people over the last couple of weeks, and Eric and I have been having some talks because being in the industry of network marketing for over 10 years now, you kind of start to see some similarities. And so I just wanted to bring you guys some really simple information tonight, but hopefully it will shift shift perspectives in you and really hopefully relieve some pressure, relieve some stress, kind of give you a kind of feeling. And I don't mean that I want any of you to take your foot off the gas. I don't mean that to say that I want you guys to shift from thinking of this from a business and take it back to a hobby, right? It doesn't mean any of those things. It doesn't mean that you think about building this business in a way that isn't all the way right, and everybody's all the way is different, but I'm just bringing some things to light because I know things that I've experienced that have caused a lot of stress in me, a lot of stress in my household, and a lot of stress on my team that I've realized just weren't really necessary. And once I pulled back from that, and once I really kind of put things into perspective and realized, wow, let me add my personal touch to this. Let me look at this a slightly different way from a human perspective as opposed to just a business perspective and looking at it from a number standpoint. It really illuminated some things, and that's some of the information that I want to bring you guys tonight. So one of the things that that I have realized by being in this business and being in this industry for a long time that's really important for you guys to understand is we want to become very good at meeting people where they're at. And what I mean by that is as you're out there and you're prospecting and you're talking to people and you're making new connections with people, every single person is going to come to you with a different story, a different background, a different experience level, and just life. They've walked in different shoes, literally. So that's why it's really important from the very beginning to get to know that person. We are in the relationship business, which I'll talk about on another slide a little bit more, but it really is about meeting people where they're at. And no matter what their life may look like on the outside, the more questions we ask, the more we look to really develop a relationship on an authentic level. And, realize that whether they join the business or not, I want this person in my life. I want this person as a friend. That you would be really surprised how much your business can actually grow. And it's a lot of different things. This honestly didn't really catch me because I do think this big, and these are the numbers that we're shooting for. But even things like in the overview video where Nick talks about making 10,000, 20,000, he goes up to over $200,000 a month. We got to realize that sounds crazy to people. That sounds absolutely crazy. And that's one of the reasons, just one of the reasons, why people consider it to be one of those things and kind of a scam, in the sense that most people have never even thought about making 5 figures a month. The thought of making $10,000 a month for the average person is unheard of. They think that they have to be the CEO of a company or having inherited a lot of money or won the lottery in order to earn that type of income. So what I've started doing is at challenge parties, and like I said, this really didn't hit me until honestly a couple weeks ago, is I address it. If you bring things into the light as opposed to allowing it to kind of stir up in people and have questions pop up in people's head and have them become kind of cynical about it, bring it up, address it, answer the question before they ask. Eric taught me that such a long time ago, that instead of waiting for people to have questions and concerns and really become skeptical about things, just bring it up. If you know the questions that are typically going to maybe tip people in the wrong direction, address it. So like Eric and I were doing a group challenge party last week out in Durham. And after the video, we always play the whole video. After the video, got up there and said, you know what? I know Nick talks about making $200,000 a month, but I see people's eyes glaze over when he talks about that. And I'm just here to tell you that may be $500 a month. That may be $1,000 a month for you. That may be $5,000 a month for you. And just address it. The more real you are with people in this business, the more authentic you are, the more you really just keep it real with people, they are going to appreciate that, and they won't feel ever like it's this scammy, pitchy, kind of one of those things deals. Okay. So that's why one of the books, in addition to The Slight Edge, if you have not read The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, go ahead and get it. But another very powerful book to have in your personal development library is How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it's a very powerful book because it really teaches you to relate to people. Yes, we are in MLM, we are in multi-level marketing, we are in referral marketing, but really, we are in relationship marketing. That is exactly the business that we are in. So the better that we get at building relationships and building trust and building credibility, the stronger your business is going to be. So here's another interesting point that I had a conversation with a couple people last week, and you could immediately feel the pressure lifted. And I know I have felt the pressure lifted too. Is that understanding the fact that, okay, most people that join Visalis or any other network marketing company, you've heard us talk about the 95% and the 5%, right? And that the people on this team, they're really looking to shift from being the 95% to moving more so into the 5%. And that doesn't always mean your income. That doesn't mean necessarily you're making the income of what 5% of the population is making, which is, over $150,000 a year. It's also a mindset. The difference between the 95% and the 5% really, truly is a mindset. So that's why we focus so much on mindset, because in order for you to have success in this company and to have success in Visalis or in network marketing in general, it does take shifting your mindset, because we have all been programmed to go to school, get a good job, work for, 30, 40, 50 years, and then retire. And that the only way that we work is with a boss, right? Well, kind of unplugging yourself from the matrix and joining a business like this teaches you that you need to reprogram yourself. You need to become a 5% thinker. You need to become a person that sees things from the other side and that realizes that not everybody, in fact, most people, are not going to exactly understand where it is that you're coming from or where it is that you're going, because it seems so just, they don't even get it. They're not even seeing it. So understanding the fact that you are in the process of shifting your own mindset, and understanding that the majority of people that you talk to have that 95% mentality. So it's nothing that we need to get upset about. It's nothing that needs to really frustrate us or anger us that they're not getting it right away. It's really understanding the fact that they are just stuck in that 95% mindset. Sorry, throat's getting dry. Okay. So let's really understand the fact, because I know people get frustrated, right? That, I know people get frustrated that sometimes people hit regional director and they want to stop. And I know for a while, I would be that person that would get so frustrated. Why don't they want to keep running? Why don't they want to hit ambassador? Why don't they want to hit 5-star? Why don't they want that crown sitting on top of their head? I just don't get it. But here's the deal, you guys. Regional director is a pinnacle position. It's a pinnacle position. Most people join this business not even necessarily to replace their income. A lot of people love what they do, or a lot of people really can't even in the beginning fathom leaving their job. But that additional $1,200 to $1,800 a month plus a paid for BMW is where a lot of people may want to stay. If they came into this business thinking, you know what, this sounds like a perfect way for me to supplement my income. This sounds like a perfect way for me to relieve some stress in my home, for me to be able to bring in that additional income to just kind of give some breathing room, to kind of stop the arguments and the stress that's going on every time it's time to figure out what bills are going to get paid or how they're going to get paid or which ones aren't going to get paid or whatever it is. And understanding the fact that that is huge to be able to do that in a way that doesn't require them getting, I mean, $1,200 to $1,800 a month. That's a full-time income for people. But for them to be able to do that on a part-time basis, doing something that they genuinely enjoy doing it in a way where they absolutely get to just help and meet and relate to people, that is huge. That is huge. And I will be the first to tell you that and I would even tell them, all right, we're not even stopping at regional director. We're moving right to national. And realizing that me putting pressure on that person, it doesn't necessarily make them want to move any faster or any harder. Okay. So I'm not saying that if you come into this business, right, and you realize that regional director is pretty much where you want to end up, I would not really communicate that to new people coming into the business, because you may attract someone that wants to be an ND, PD, ambassador, 1-star, 5-star, whatever it is. And if you put that out there, yeah, they have all these other ranks, but, regional director is really great. Guess what? You're going to put the brakes on that person potentially. Okay. But understand that regional director, for you to be able to hit that, is a huge, huge deal. It really, really is. So don't take it lightly. Maybe even if it takes you 6 months, even if it takes you 1 year to hit regional director, and of course, we would love for it to happen faster than that, because we know it's possible. And we know that if you're just consistent, it should really take about anywhere from 3 to 6 months in order for you to hit regional director, right? If you're just consistent with it, stick to the system. That is a huge, huge accomplishment. That is basically investing a few hours a week, right? Consistently, persistently, to be able to generate a pretty much full-time income for a lot of households, plus a paid for BMW in the driveway, or there are people that take that $300 a month and get a different type of car. That's huge, you guys. So part of what I want to do tonight is not take your foot off the gas, but take the pressure off a little bit, if that makes any sense at all. I do not want you to take your foot off the gas, but I do want to take a little bit of pressure off of it, because, what I've really learned, one of the things that I've learned and continue to learn, is that we are in the business of building relationships and freedom for people. And if any of you guys were around from Vitality until now, I really shared with you guys and was very honest with you some of the light bulb / kick in the gut moments that I had in Miami, where I had to realize that all this preaching time and financial freedom, and I was constantly looking at my phone, constantly checking my text messages, constantly stressing everybody out in my house, constantly shushing my kids. I had no free time whatsoever. And, I wouldn't change it really necessarily, because, here we are now, and the benefits that we're reaping are pretty incredible. But I can tell you, moving forward, and even the shifts that I've made now, is that there is balance there, and realizing that we don't want to create stress for people. We are really supposed to be helping them alleviate stress as opposed to add to it, right? And, it's very, very important. Again, going back to the first slide, oops, crap, is meeting people where they're at. Because we want to constantly, constantly stay in tune with what that person wants, where they want to go. That's why the company teaches having these top of the month calls, because we don't know what is going on with that person that month necessarily. So to be able to reach out and say, look, we're looking for the people that want to run this month and focus on those people, it just makes sense. Because to put all this stress on people and have all these expectations on people and then spend so much time and energy being annoyed with them or being frustrated with them, where if you were really just had an open line of communication, you would realize that it's okay. Not everybody is going to see this the way we do. Not everybody is going to want to, make those 10, 20, $30,000 a month. And, I'll tell you, I used to be the person that would say, are you crazy? Why wouldn't you want to make that kind of money? But being out in the field and building relationships with so many different types of people, with so many different types of backgrounds, it's really caused me to appreciate that isn't for everybody. That isn't for everybody, and that's okay. And so much of my frustration, and I know so much of the frustration of leaders on this team and in this business and in this company, is coming from that place. One second. Okay. So I'm going to kind of take it back to basics a little bit. And Eric and I were out in Durham doing some training with the Durham crew out there. And it really is about keeping things so, so simple. I have realized, and a lot of other people on this team have realized, that a lot of the stress that we feel, we bring on ourselves. We bring it on ourselves. And a lot of the new people coming onto the team, we have to address right away that they are accustomed to having a job mentality, where you get a job, you do all your own training, right? You got to get up and running as quickly as possible, and you do all the work, right? I mean, what job do you really get where you have an entire team of people that are really ready to do a lot of the work for you initially, and then with you, and then really set you up to be a leader to do it on your own? That is just not the corporate mentality, right? That is not what we're programmed to know. So, like I said in the beginning, it really does take a shift in mindset and getting people to understand right away that you are in a leveraged business. And the more you leverage, the more successful you are going to be. So, the two most important things, the two most important things that you want to be doing consistently and persistently, a little bit every day. Like if you read The Slight Edge, it's not about making these quantum leaps. It is about consistently doing a couple of things over and over and over and over again, and not looking for the results right away, but just doing it. Just making that slight edge decision, that decision that I'm going to do these couple things every single day, and I may not be looking for the result that day, but I'm going to trust that whoever taught me to do this got results eventually, right? And honestly, the more no's you get, the more success you're going to have. I know we're taught that, failing is bad and all these different things, but again, the faster you fail, the more successful you're going to be. Okay, so the two biggest things that everybody wants to be focusing on is sending people to the overview video and getting them on a 3-way call. That is all you do. And I have a big red dotted line there because, of course, the other parts of our system are the getting started training, the pre-party, and the challenge party. But guess what? Those last 3 don't happen unless the first 2 are done, right? So here's the deal. Keep it Simple. The more you go out there and talk, the more you go out there and answer question, the less success you're going to have and the less duplicatable you're going to become. Okay? Like I was doing a call with a woman tonight who just came on board as a promoter, and she's very busy. She travels all over the world with her business, but she really wants to build this business. And so, even from the point of me being on the three-way call with her, this is actually with a woman on my Canadian team. I told her, I said, you are absolutely in the right business, because all we ask people to do initially is point people to a video and get them on the call. Point people to a video and get them on a call. And again, if you're spending 30, 45, 60 minutes on the introduction process, number one, you're slowing yourself down. Number two, you're doing way too much talking. And number three, the person on the other end of the line, whether they realize it or not, is saying, I would never in a million years have the time, energy, or knowledge to do that. So if they really maybe thought about becoming a promoter, you just kind of shifted their decision right there because you were doing too much. So when you're sending people to an overview, all you're really doing is having them check something out that you really want them to look at. It's something that you're a part of. Share your quick story. I really want you to check it out. When can you take 20 minutes and watch a video, right? Or not, can you go watch a video? Or would you mind watching a video? Or when you have time, can you watch this video and call me back? No. It is okay to tell people what to do. It's not being bossy. It's not being pushy. It's not being any of those things that your mom or dad or aunt or uncle or brother or sister or whoever programmed you to believe that that's pushy. That is being a leader. That is being assertive. That is believing in something to a degree that you're willing to step up and have that posture with people, right? If it was a great restaurant, you wouldn't feel weird about it. You'd be like, girl, oh my God, you got to go to this restaurant, go online, look at the menu, right? And you got to go eat at this restaurant. Would that feel weird? No, it wouldn't feel weird. Or, oh my gosh, Eric and I just went to see that Alex Cross movie. It was so good. I read the book years ago, but you got to go see this movie. Go to the video and watch the preview. I'm going to call you and we'll set up a date for the four of us to go out. It's the same posture. It really, really is. So you don't mind telling people to go and do those things, but for some reason, when it's something that can actually help them way more than dinner and a movie, it feels weird. So shift your mindset about it. Don't change who you are, right? Realize that this is potentially one of the most important phone calls that they've ever gotten. Okay? So you're sending them to the overview. You're putting them on the phone with an expert. If you all of a sudden become an instant expert, it's not going to work as well. It's not going to work as well at all because, again, it's just weird, right? It's just weird to your friends and your family for you to all of a sudden be talking about a tri-store protein blend. It's just weird, right? You want to stay who you are. You want to stay an accountant. You want to stay a teacher. You want to stay, a construction worker. Whatever it is, you stay who you are. You have experts that are there to help you. So put them on the phone with an expert and keep it real, you guys. Be like, all right, when are you going to watch the video? Okay, cool. Okay, so 8:30, I'm going to call you back. I know you're going to have questions. And look, I couldn't answer a single question because I don't even know, but I'm connected with someone that can. You will be amazed. You got to hear her story. She's got this or that background. You're going to love her. She's so awesome. She's just going to really give you some information, just really want to tell you about it. So I'm going to call you back at this time and I'm going to have her on the line. That's it. Not, well, can I set up a three-way call with my upline, or can I get you back on the phone and I have someone who's going to really try to sell you something, whatever it is, just keep it real, you guys. Keep who you are. And like an analogy you can think about is, if you're a mechanic, right? And someone has a question about a tooth being chipped, would you really try to answer their question? No, you would automatically be like, I don't know, I'm a mechanic, go to the dentist, right? It's the same thing, but for some reason, we join a business like this and we want to go from being a mechanic to this health and weight loss and nutrition expert, right? So you always send them to someone that has the background, the credibility, the education, the information that's going to get their questions answered, that's going to lead them to the result that they're looking for. Okay? So, overview, three-way call. And then the person who's doing the three-way call is really going to be able to also help with the GST, the pre-party, and the challenge party, right? So, that's my last slide. Honestly, that's it, guys. I mean, I just want to be able to come to you guys every week like we used to. My biggest thing about these Sunday trainings is creating mindset shifts in order to help you grow your business, whether it's a little strategy, whether it's seeing things differently, whether it's changing your perspective, whatever it is. I want your business to grow. That is my goal by getting you guys on the call. So in order for me to help you get your business to grow, it's not always necessarily getting you to run faster. It's not always necessarily getting you to run harder. Sometimes it's just getting you to show up. Sometimes it's just getting you to see what you're doing from a different perspective and to realize what type of business that we are in. We are in the people business, you guys. We are in an opportunity that has the potential to change a lot of people's lives. And a lot of you are already making a huge impact, a huge ripple effect in your family, in your community, in your work environment, in your church environment, whatever it is. And that's what we want to continue to do. We don't want to force people to do this business if they don't really want to do it. We don't want to force people to run any faster than they really want to run. We want to show them what's possible, right? We want to encourage them to always be making breakthroughs. We want to encourage them to break out of their comfort zone. Absolutely. I'm not just going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, keep people right where they're at. But that takes personal development. That takes plugging them into the daily power calls. That takes getting them to events. That takes getting them to trainings like this. That takes getting them on a call with someone who knows how to gear the conversation to get them to become more aware, to get them to see things differently, to get them to realize that what they're believing isn't really truth. It's just something that they were conditioned or kind of programmed to believe. Okay. So that's it, you guys. I really hope this was helpful. I really hope this did kind of give some feeling, because I want all of you guys to keep loving what you're doing. I want all of you guys to wake up every day and be thankful for the opportunity that you have. I don't want it ever to feel like Groundhog Day to you. I don't want you to ever dread waking up and talking to more people or doing a challenge party or, sharing this opportunity or this challenge with people. I don't ever want you to dread that. We invited you, whoever personally invited you to become a part of this team, it was not to add stress into your life. It was to really show you a path and show you a road that is already paved, that is already well traveled, that is already creating results, and bring you along with us. That is really ultimately what we want to do for you guys. And we want you to come willingly. We want you to come with joy in your heart and a smile on your face. That is how we want this team to run. Okay. So that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for taking time out. Love you guys dearly. Appreciate you guys more than you will ever know. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.